are you guys doing today on Tuesday, the 24th of January? I hope everybody is doing well. I understand that Rosemary stayed home from school today because she's not feeling well. She has a toothache, poor little sweetheart. So I hope she feels better really soon. So I thought I would read a book, especially for Rosemary today, that might help cheer her up. It is called The Mermaid. It's again from Jan Brett. I think we only have a couple more of these from Jan Brett, you guys. So if you're tired of them, I'm sorry. But I really just love her so much. But I'm also going to do another book after this, but it'll be in a separate recording. We're going to do two today. Again, we're going to get through these Jan Brett ones, and some of these are kind of winter themed, so it's fun to read them in January. I mean, I know it's going to be wintry in Germany for a while, but here it's not going to be cold, and maybe we'll get, I don't know, maybe like into February we'll get a couple of cold days, so I don't know. Okay, so another one by Jan Brett, which we're going to do next, okay, and it's called The Hat, but they'll be in two separate recordings, so let's go ahead and do The Mermaid first, especially for Rosemary, who loves mermaids, just like Bina loves loves mermaids, and Rosemary, and June also loves mermaids, so it's for all of us that love mermaids. And of course we know that Kristen, was a mermaid, so hey, that's just family stuff. Mermaid lovers that we are. Okay, let's find out about this mermaid. Here we go. The Mermaid by Jan Brett. Under the sea, an octopus family got ready for a swim before breakfast. "Time to put on your new hat, baby," said Okasan. Baby did not like the floppy new hat. The hat was not happy either. As the octopus family set off behind their house, a little mermaid spotted their front door. Kinero had been drifting in a warm current with her pufferfish friend. "Take care," Puffy warned. "You never know who may live there." "But I'm so curious," she said. Kinero sashayed toward the seashell house. Inside, breakfast had been set out. There was a great big shell, a middle-sized shell, and a little shell. Kinero took a bite from the great big shell. "Too crunchy," she said. The little mermaid tried the tender bites in the middle-sized shell. "Too slimy," she said. Puffy could guess what was coming next. Kinero sidled up to the little shell. In a minute, the tempting tidbit had disappeared. "Just right," she said. "All gone," said Puffy, as he wondered whose breakfast it really was. Kinero floated around the seashell house and saw 3 chairs. There was a big chair, a middle-sized chair, and a little chair. She sat down in the large coral chair. "Too many bumps," she said as she smoothed her scales. Kinero wriggled into the middle-sized chair. Down she went. "This chair is too slippery," she gasped. The little chair was the prettiest of all, and Kinero sat on it. "Just right," she said, and gave her fins a flippery flip. All that wiggling broke the chair to bits. Kinero was sorry about the pretty chair, but not for long, because in the next room she spotted 3 beds. She and Puffy had been swimming for hours and were ready for a nap. She swam over and settled in. "What sweet dreams we'll have," she told her friend. But someone had been eating in that bed, and there were smashed shells and crab claws all around. "This bed is too messy," she sighed. She flopped down on the middle-sized bed. "This bed is too squishy," she complained. As Caniro patted her tiara, she spied the last small bed. It rocked like a cradle in the tide. She set her head down on a pillow star and fell sound asleep. Soon the octopus family returned over the sandy shoals. Right away, Otosan saw his breakfast shell overturned. "Someone has been crunching on my crustaceans," he said, turning pink. Okasan huffed. "My breakfast has been splashed." She turned pinkish too. Baby looked around for her breakfast, but all she saw was the upside-down shell. "Someone has been eating my breakfast, and there is nothing left for me," she cried. Otosan saw that his coral chair looked different. "Someone has been sitting on my chair," he announced, now even redder. Okasan went from pink to red when she saw her chair. "Who has been squashing my chair and scattering my teacups?" she asked. Baby saw her beautiful chair all in pieces. The hermit crabs were taking it. "My chair is going, gone," she cried. Sensing something else was amiss, Otosan squeezed into the bedroom. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed." He blasted ocean water and kicked up the star-shaped sand. Puffy felt the ripples as Okasan jetted toward her bed. The soft seaweed she liked to drowse in was tangled and torn. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," she said. Baby octopus peeked inside her tiny bed. A beautiful mermaid was sleeping there. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed, and here she is." The little mermaid opened her eyes and saw the adorable octopus. The baby's eyes were soft and sweet. Her skin was shell pink. Her graceful arms danced, but she was wearing the oddest hat the little mermaid had ever seen. Caniro, who didn't like to see anyone unhappy, gasped, "That will not do." She thought about her tiara. Just then, all 3 octopuses reached for Caniro with their 24 arms. Puffy was ready. He puffed with all his might. Puffa, puffa, pokety poke, stickety stick. His sharp prickles did not let the octopuses near the little mermaid. Caniro, Puffy, and their new friend Ray floated away in the warm current. They couldn't stop smiling about the baby octopus. She looked radiant in her beautiful new tiara. Oh, I love that. We didn't miss a page where she gave her the tiara, did she? Oh no, I guess that they didn't tell us. We assumed over there she had that hat on. And now with the tiara, wasn't that kind of the mermaid? Oh my goodness. So this tells a little bit about how the author came up with this, what inspired her. It says, "A baby octopus waved its little arms at me when I glimpsed it on some coral while in the ocean off the island of Okinawa when I was visiting my daughter and her husband. It wasn't until I returned home and was musing over what creatures would take the place of the 3 bears in my under-the-sea Goldilocks story that it dawned on me that octopuses, intelligent and mischievous, would be just right. I admired the Okinawan houses and made the octopus house like the island ones. When I worried out loud that the octopuses looked alien, my young friend Alma suggested that they wear hats. Now the setting and the clothes were Japanese. Back in Boston, the New England Aquarium's cold water aquarist introduced me to Sai, their famous giant Pacific octopus. I had an arms-on experience with her. From then on, my characters seemed to take shape by themselves. Alice went down a rabbit hole to find another world. For me, I stepped off the beach in Okinawa." So look here. put this close up so you can see the author, Jan Brett, taking a peek at that octopus, which name is Cy, and it lives in Boston at the New England Aquarium. Isn't that funny? Wow. I don't know, you guys. I really like this Little Mermaid book. Did you guys like that book too? I tend to not read the books before I read them to you, so I'm hearing them fresh for the first time as well. So I really didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be kind of a retelling of the Little Mermaid story, not a version of the Goldilocks story. And that's really kind of funny because in the mail the other day, you know how Dolly Parton sends books, here for you guys. And the book that arrived for June this month was the Goldilocks story by Jan Brett. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is just such a coincidence. So June and I read it, and there are some pictures that I sent that Brenna took of me reading that book to June that I'll read that book probably in the next couple of days, and we'll just get our whole Jan Brett, series out of the way here for now. But isn't that funny that just coincidence, I ended up getting another sort of Goldilocks story by Jan Brett, but a mermaid, which I love so much. I am going to put this book on my Amazon wish list because I would like to own this mermaid book by Jan Brett. I really want to take some time and pore over the illustrations because I think that there's a lot there that she has all these little hidden things, in her artwork that you really have to read more than one time, I think, to really get the full benefit of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that too, and I love you, and I hope you're tucked in nice and cozy. Good night.